Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Hookah Anonymous, and you are now rocking with Mickey Truth. She live up to her name, not the fame. So make sure y'all subscribe to her channel and stay updated on what's real. Bye.
Coming from where I come from, they doubted me, but I came up. I made it through the storm, trying to conquer the world. I made it through the storm, trying to conquer the world. Coming from where I come from, they doubted me, but I came up. I made it through the storm, trying to conquer the world. I made it through the storm, trying to conquer the world.
Good reporting ass Mickey.
What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Mickey Truth, aka the Queen of Paperwork, and I am back with another video. As always, all information contained in this video is for entertainment and educational purposes only. All information used in this video is per the Fair Use Act, and any conclusion that you draw is on you, not me. So let's get it. Let's get into the paperwork of NBA Youngboy. Now, for those who don't know and for those who do know, NBA Youngboy has an extensive background, okay? You can look on YouTube. You can look on blogs. I mean, he's been everywhere in headlines over the years about multiple cases. So what I had to do was break it down because I would be here forever if I put it all in one video. So this one, we're going to take it to 2016. And yes, for my diehard NBA Youngboy fans, I do know he was arrested and charged in 2014. However, he was 15, 16 years old, meaning he was a minor. I don't have that paperwork, so we're going to start where I can access the paperwork. But before we get into the paperwork, we have to talk about the murder of Keandre Riggs. According to a local news article, a pair of shootings Wednesday morning, 8 blocks and 9 hours apart, left an 18-year-old high school student dead, sent another man to the hospital, and set the Old South Baton Rouge neighborhood on edge. The violence began just after midnight with a series of gunshots struck Keandre Riggs in the torso less than a block from his home at 1951 Nebraska Street. Police officer found Riggs, an 18-year-old McKinley High School student, dead in the roadway around 12:15 a.m., said Sergeant Lejean McKinley Jr., a Baton Rouge police spokesman. So you may be wondering, Mickey, what does that have to do with NBA Youngboy? I'm going to tie that in, but before we do, let's read the bottom of the article. It says police found a male victim in that shooting in a silver Hyundai sedan parked just over a mile away on May Street between the LSU lakes. The man, who wasn't identified, had been shot in the neck. Baton Rouge EMS rushed the man to the hospital where he remained in stable condition Wednesday evening, said Sergeant Don Coppola Jr., another police spokesman. Maybe I said it right, maybe I didn't, but we're going to continue on. Now, it does go on to say detectives blocked off the street around both the scene of the suspected shooting on Kentucky and around the LSU lakes where the victim was found. According to the investigative report, on November 2nd, 2016, at approximately 9:31 hours, uniformed patrol was dispatched to 2055 Kentucky relative to a shooting. Upon arrival, officers learned that approximately 4 suspects in a silver Hyundai drove past mentioned address and began firing at 2 victims who were standing in the front of the residence. At approximately 9:40 hours, uniform was dispatched to the 2000 block of May related to a black male shot, Joseph Griham, in a silver Hyundai. Griham was shot through the shoulder. You continue on in the report. It does redact a name, right? And it only shows B and L. So that's what I'm going to refer to it as. So it says, while on scene, detective was contacted by BF and advised that he was the driver of the Hyundai. Detectives learned from witnesses that Elf proved the Hyundai back to, what the word is it saying? Anyway, y'all see, it's not me, it's the paperwork, okay? Where his cousin was killed on November 1st, 2016. Detectives learned that Elf went back to the area to find out who shot his cousin with Graham, Kentrell, and a black male known as Boomer that was armed with 1 handgun, Boomer, and 1 with the assault-style rifle, Kentrell. It continues to state that after the shooting, Elf drove Boomer and Kentrell from the scene, hitting a curb and eventually fleeing from the car in the 2000 block of May Street, okay? Continue on. It said, upon arrival, officers and other emergency personnel located a 17-year-old black male victim in a silver Hyundai Elantra. Police also have it noted that upon arrival to the scene, the responding officers did observe that 2033 Kentucky was a vacant house and that they entered because they wanted to make sure there wasn't no victims in there, right? Okay. So when they went in, they noticed that it was a bunch of guns and things around. So they did apply for a warrant and was able to get what was located inside of that residence. Now, Furthermore, it goes to say that they interviewed somebody by the name of Leonardo Winfield. According to this interview, Leonardo Winfield, relative to a shooting on Kentucky Street and a gun being passed off on Nebraska Street, Leonardo would be read his rights per Miranda and would advise he understood and wished to speak with detective. Winfield will also provide a voluntary consent to search. Winfield would deny an involvement in the shooting and would deny any involvement in passing of the gun. Nothing further. This is a summary of the interview. For full details, please review the compact disc containing audio and video of the interview. And I will say this, their grammar is off, but that ain't got nothing to do with me. This is what the paperwork says. So the next interview is with Leonardo Winfield, okay? And with this, he admits that a cousin of Keandre Riggs told him to hide the gun because he was going to smash James later. Don't know what that means. Don't know if James is somebody else. However, that's what the paperwork reads. It also states that this is a summary on the interview just like it did before. Now, let's get into the business, the meat and potatoes. Well, as you see in the video, this is the interview of Joseph Griham. You have heard me say that name already because that's what's in the news reports of being the victim of the shooting that was left in the Hyundai, right? So according to his interview with the police, it says here that the following is a statement of Graham. He advised that he got a call from BF saying that a friend got killed. He advised that he went to Nebraska Street to visit the family. He advised that they were traveling down Kentucky and got shot at. He advised that he, Trail, Ben, and Boomer were in the car. He advised that a large male started to shoot at the car. He then advised that Boomer and Trail shot back. He advised that there was only one gun and it was Boomer that had it. He decided to change his story after the detective advised that he did not believe him. He advised that they exited the interstate. He then decided to change his story again. He advised that B began stopping the car and asking people who killed his cousin. He advised that Youngboy and Boomer started shooting when they saw two people walk out with guns. When asked if they would not have been driving around, the shooting would not have occurred, Graham positively identified NBA Youngboy as the person in the car he saw shooting from a 6-person lineup. This is a brief summary of the interview. For the entire interview, of course, they have it on DVD. And let me tell you, I wish it was an easier way to get the footage from these cases, but Louisiana is definitely one with a lot of red tape. Nevertheless, it pointed me to think, Ben. I'm like, I heard that name before, right? Ben. But I wonder if it is the Ben I'm thinking of. And Ben 10 is who I'm thinking of, right? As you can see in the screen, whoever Ben is, right? Ben is a juvenile at this point, and they have him redacted. However, if you fast forward 3 years later, it is a newspaper article that states that a man by the name, with the last name Norman, is the most recent person arrested for the crimes stemming back from November 2nd, 2016, right? It also refers to Norman, Benfield, and Kentrail, a.k.a. NBA Youngboy. So I'm like, Benfields, BF, a.k.a. Ben 10. That's how I made the connection to exactly who Ben is in the paperwork or who BF is in the paperwork. Some of y'all may already know that. Again, that's how I found out. Let's continue. I know some of you are wondering, did Ben 10 provide a statement? No, Ben 10 did not provide a statement. It says that Elf was transported to VCU but declined to make a statement. We have reviewed multiple statements. So far, you can tell that somebody told on NBA Youngboy. I mean, literally, his name was provided. So at this point, they do charge him with 2 counts of attempted first-degree murder, and they outlined the details that we already went over, including that multiple witnesses pointed him out. So he was arrested, and at this point, he is the up-and-coming rapper that we knew. So he is placed in a newspaper at 17 years old. So as most of us remember, this is a Texas arrest that went viral. So on December 7th, 2016, NBA Youngboy was arrested in Austin, Texas. However, after being Mirandized, he did do what a lot of people don't do. He asked for a lawyer and the interview was terminated, so he never made a statement either in this case, and he was then transported back to Louisiana to face the crimes that he was being accused of, which I already went over. Now, if we continue on throughout the paperwork, one thing about it is every state, the offense will file for motion of discovery. A lot of people think that it's automatic. Now, maybe, but I've always seen it on cases. They file for their discovery. In Louisiana, though, you literally can see the full discovery. And I love that, okay? You can see the full discovery. So I was able to see the discovery and see that NBA Youngboy's defense team did request all videos of witnesses, including Griham, who was the person who was shot in the car allegedly that NBA Youngboy was in. So furthermore, on May 22nd, 2017, NBA Youngboy decided a plea deal was better than taking time in court against all these statements and everything. And that's just my little verbiage of it. But anyway, he did take the plea deal. And in exchange for that, instead of being charged with 2 counts of attempted first-degree murder, it was downgraded to aggravated assault with a firearm, okay? He received a 10-year sentence, which was suspended, and a 3-year probation stint. Now, if you don't recall, that probation stint was one roller coaster ride, okay? And some of the outline for his probation was this. He couldn't be on social media. Like, he couldn't post on social media. He had to provide his passwords to his probation officer. He could not be around Ben 10. I mean, the list goes on, okay? And it's in the screen. A lot of y'all may already know that. Now, with that being said, I'm not even going to lie. This is the first of many cases. However, I got to give it to NBA Youngboy. He definitely passed a check on this tech case. But we got a couple more cases to get to. And then, will NBA Youngboy receive a certificate from the Queen of Paperwork? I mean, he's off to a good start. Now, if you don't know, the next case is the kidnapping and assault case against Janiyah, allegedly. So, for now, make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe, tell a friend to pull up on your girl, Mickey Truth, and definitely hit MickeyTruth.com and get you that merch, because you know your girl stay with that work. So, until next time, holla!